Welcome back. If you want to tell a great story, share a memory, or even just talk about what you did last weekend, you've got to be a master of the past. So today, we're going to build up your grammar toolbox and get you totally comfortable talking about everything that's already happened.
Think about it. Every good story, even one about this little guy reading a book, takes place in the past. And to tell that story clearly, you need the right tools. Well, that's exactly what we're going to give you today.
So here's our plan. First, we'll figure out why the past tense is so important. Then we'll start filling up our toolbox, one tool at a time, starting with the basics and then moving on to the really powerful stuff. By the end, you'll have the whole set. Okay, let's get right into it. Before we start grabbing our tools, we need to understand the why. Why are there so many different ways to talk about the past? Well, it's all about making our stories clearer and, well, just better. So, what is the past tense, really? Here's the most important thing to remember. If an action started in the past and ended in the past, it's past tense. Simple as that. I played football yesterday. The playing's done. They watched a movie last night. The movie's over. It's all about completed actions.
All right, let's grab our first and most important tool. I like to think of the simple past as the hammer of your grammar toolbox. It's direct, it gets the job done, and you're going to use it constantly for finished actions.
This is your go-to. It's for stating a basic fact about the past. She visited her grandmother last week. Boom, done. I did my laundry this morning. A specific action at a specific time, and it's over. See? Simple.
Now, how do you make it? Well, for most verbs, what we call regular verbs, you just stick ed on the end. Play becomes played. Easy. But, English loves to be tricky. We have this whole group of rebel verbs called irregulars that change completely. So go becomes went, and eat becomes ate. And then there's be, which is its own special case, becoming was or were.
And here's a perfect example of one of those irregular verbs. You wouldn't say he eated, right? Of course not. The whole word changes from eat to ate. You do have to memorize them, but trust me, after a while, they just start to sound right. Okay, I need you to pay close attention to this next part because this is probably one of the biggest mistakes people make. When we try to say no in the past, there's a little trap waiting. So here's the rule, and it's a golden one. The word didn't already does all the hard work. It's the word that puts a sentence in the past. So the main verb after it gets to relax and go back to its original form. So you never say, I didn't went. It's always, I didn't go. Okay, let's grab our next tool. If the simple past is the hammer for facts, the past continuous is more like a paintbrush. You use it to paint a picture and really set the scene.
The key phrase here is in progress. You're talking about an action that was already happening at a specific time. And to build it, you just need was or were, and then your verb with ing at the end. Like, at 8 p.m. last night, they were playing football. Look at this. When we say he was reading a book, it's so much more descriptive than he read a book. It gives you a little snapshot. You can almost see it, right? The reading started before that moment, and it kept going after. It's all about setting that scene.
So, this is where your grammar skills get really cool. What happens when a short, quick action happens right in the middle of your long, scene-setting action? This is where your new tools start working together to tell a more exciting story. And here they are, the perfect team. The long background action, he was reading, uses the past continuous. And the short, sudden interruption, he heard a scream, uses the simple past. You see how that works? One thing was happening, when bam, something else happened. It's a great way to build drama.
All right, you ready to level up? It's time to add some precision tools to our kit. The perfect tenses. These are like your own personal time machine. They let you talk about a past that happened before another past event. I love this one. The past perfect is basically your story's flashback button. You use it with the word had and the past participle. The third form of the verb, like eaten or seen. It's absolutely essential for making the order of events super clear. This timeline lays it out perfectly. I arrived. Okay, that happened in the past. But wait, something happened even before that. She had finished her work. That had is your signal, your little flag, telling everyone that this event is from the past before the past.
And for our final tool, we've got the past perfect continuous. Now, this one is all about showing how long something was happening. It talks about that past before the past, but it puts a big spotlight on the duration. You'll make it with had been plus your ing verb.
Check out this example. The main point isn't just that you studied. The key detail is that you had been studying for 2 hours right before that call came. It really emphasizes that whole chunk of time and adds so much more detail to what you're saying. So there you have it. Your past tense toolbox is officially complete. You've got everything you need. Now let's just lay all the tools out and have one last look at when to use each one.
Okay, this table right here, this is your ultimate cheat sheet. If you're ever not sure, come back to this. It breaks it down. Simple past for finished actions, past continuous for background scenes, past perfect for the past before the past, and past perfect continuous when you want to talk about how long that earlier action lasted.
And look at the progress you're making on your journey. You've already got a handle on the present, and now you're here. You're mastering the past. This is a massive step towards fluency, so keep up the amazing work.
So really, what I want you to take away from all this isn't just a set of boring rules. It's the power to tell better stories. So now it's your turn. Think about something that happened to you last week. Can you tell that story using at least 2 of the tools we talked about today? Give it a try.